food suppliers are feeling the sting of inflation, and their customers are too. The food suppliers say Americans are holding back at the grocery store. They're not spending as much. They're avoiding the highest priced items because they can't afford it anymore. John?
Exactly. One Philadelphia-based supplier saying shoppers are hesitant to spend money on higher-priced grocery items. Who better to take on the economy topic than our own host of Wise Guys, John Tabacco. Good morning, John.
Good morning, my friends. How are you today?
There
Awesome.
you are in the car. Where are you, John?
Yeah, well, you know where we are. We're on the road to Binghamton, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely,
That's
absolutely.
Right.
So, John, shoppers are tightening their belts at the grocery store, which is setting up a dangerous chain of economic events. What's your take on it, John?
Well, here's my take on it. You probably see my boys, the Scarlata brothers, going viral talking about how inflation's hitting kids. And they're coming straight out of Staten Island, Shaolin. So I thought I would go with them and tell you what's really happening in Staten Island, New York, where regular Republicans live. Ready for this? Old school. Under Trump, a pound of prosciutto was $17. Today, it's 29 bucks, up 60%. A pound of supersata, my favorite, $16 under Trump, 22 under Biden, up 40%. And my favorite, everybody's favorite, gabagool, $16 under Trump, $20 under Biden, another 25%. So my favorite sandwich is up $43 in Freddy's Gourmet in Staten Island, New York.
You can't afford to be Italian anymore.
It's crazy. It's almost like discrimination if you think about
That's
it.
right.
You know?
That's exactly
it's
what
crazy.
it is. That's exactly what it is. I was looking at a Pennsylvania supplier, but it's happening coast to coast. And according to Moody's Analytics, the typical U.S. household needs to spend $213 more per month for necessities than 1 year ago. $213 more per month. Translate that into yearly figures. You've got to earn more money just to stay still.
Not only do you have to earn more money, most people in the employment market, you know, if they do a decent job, they hope for a 5 to 10% increase in their pay every year. You know, you get your review, you get a little deal. The actual real wages are down 7.2%. So even if you do real good and you get a 10% raise, Uncle Sam's taking 7.2% of that back after taxes. So you wind up with literally nothing. And, you know, we just talked about, and I'm joking around with the prices of cured meats in New York, but it's hitting homeowners and regular folks, because Karen and I go out and talk to them on Wise Guys. And even in the Bronx, people are saying, we have no money. A woman said to us, look at my shopping cart. That was $200. A few years ago under Trump, that would have been full. The shopping cart would be full. So people understand. And it's not just New York, it's Philly, it's Pennsylvania, it's everywhere. Put on top of that, Betsy, you told me last time, utility bills are up, okay?
Yes.
And this is all leading to credit card debt being up, people using their credit cards for basic necessities and paying the big banks big interest.
And you know what's frustrating everyday working Americans? Biden is up there not talking about these issues. It's like he's telling America, forget about it. But America is saying, you know what? We're hurting, and we are going to remember this November when they head to the polls. Why? Because the fine print of the jobs report that you just mentioned, JT, is that, there's jobs that are being filled. Some wages are ticking up slightly, but not keeping pace with inflation. But here's the fine print. Hours are being cut. So not only are people not being able to keep pace with inflation, their hours are being reduced. And if hours are being reduced, John, they're bringing home less money.
Yeah, there's a thing out there called the ratchet effect. You know, every time the progressives get some kind of majority, they try to ratchet it 2-3 times down. And then when they lose it, they just try to let us get one. This all goes back to the fruit of the poisonous tree, when the progressives started getting involved in capitalism and making all these blue cities and blue states raise wages. I'm all for high wages that are earned, not forced upon companies. So this is the subset and the collateral damage of years of forcing employers to pay people more than they're worth in some instances, when they should be allowed to pay them a fair market rate. And most employers overpay people who are good workers.
I was listening to the president the other day, and he was talking about grocery prices, and he was blaming it on price gouging, not energy costs, not all the costs of producing and delivering the food. He's trying to smear the grocery store owners and the food manufacturers. Your take on that?
I was thinking about this yesterday on the macro of all of it, and JB made the point a little earlier that they're just telling us everything is good. And I was thinking about, the old story, the emperor's new clothes. Um, I think Joe Biden is just walking through life naked and afraid, and he's the emperor. They keep telling him, tell everybody it's good, and 48% of the people will vote for you, and they're not zeroing in. There's signal, and there's noise. And they just want everybody to get caught up in the signal. The noise is his policies have an open border that's killing our cities, our blue states, and our country now. And at the same time, this is the worst economy ever.